Hi Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are just sort of doing whatever wants to come out. We've had some really great messages so far this week. So finishing off with the earth signs, very excited to see what we all get, being a fellow earth sign myself. But do like and subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate the support, guys. Just a super small channel, so it means the world to me. We are just obviously coming through the energy of Halloween and then the full moon and eclipse. Before that, on the full moon, I did upload the shadow work video. So if you haven't had a chance to catch that one, that is on the All Signs playlist. So go and check that one out if you're, ready to do some inner work. It's a really great time to be doing that sort of stuff. Now, today we are using the Gilded Reverie lenormand. I also have with me the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle and the Angel Answers that we will be using to sort of look at no contact situations. So whether that's a romantic no contact or, a family member or friend that you're not currently in contact with, we're going to have a bit of a look at love and then no contact as well. Okay, but starting off for you today, Taurus, we're going to have a look at what's going on. What's going on for our Taurus? What does Taurus need to know? I'm super sad. I'll be taking the Halloween decorations down. Half of them are already gone because my kids stole them, but they are coming down after the weekly readings. Then I suppose we're going to have to start thinking about Christmas stuff, aren't we? Okay. Just a clarifying layer for Taurus. What's going on here? Okay, very interesting energy. I'm just going to grab one or two more here. Why does Taurus need to know about this? And what aspect of Taurus's life is this in regard to, please? Okay. All right. So I'll show you that one that I've just drawn there as to what aspect of your life this is in regard to, because that's sort of coming through as a bit of an overview of the whole sort of thing. We do have the moon there, okay, which does talk about emotional sensitivities. So, we're talking about your emotions at the moment, Taurus. We are looking at some stuff happening on an emotional level within you. All right. So firstly, I do have the ship energy. All right, and that was that came through with the magnifying glass there as well. So it's kind of asking us to really examine where we want to go, where we want to move to. For some of you that may actually be like a physical distance thing. Where do you want to travel to, move to? Where do you? But for I feel like majority of you, we are looking at that overview of emotion. So it's kind of like, what journeys do you need to start within yourself? What's the adventure coming up for you that you need to sort of take on within you, and sort of set sail into this journey through your soul? It's really asking you to sort of take a closer look at all those things that you are sort of, I feel like for a lot of you, you're already considering sort of where you want to go from here. And, the new journeys that you do want to be taking. But it's asking you to sort of look closer and really, magnify those ideas within you so you can really sort of specify exactly what it is you need to be, loading onto your ship to take with you as you go and start this journey within yourself. But, we do see that, with the magnifying glass, a lot of the time it does really bring to mind the idea of like maps. So it's really making sure that before we sort of jump on that ship and set sail into the future, that we really have that map drawn out and we know exactly where we're going to go. And, you know, we know we need to stop here so we can, you know, restock all the food on board. And then we need to stop there so that we can do that and get that all sorted out, you know, as well as, you know, mapping out, you know, what happens if we have potential a sail comes off the ship and where do we stop for repairs. So it's kind of like knowing where the journey is taking you before you actually start the journey, really mapping it out a little bit for yourself and looking closer and examining all the ways in which you can be, you know, preparing yourself for the journey ahead, just on an emotional level though. So it's kind of like starting some sort of journey within yourself. I'm really feeling here, Taurus, where it's like I'm just intuitively feeling that there's some stuff that you want to do, some distance you want to cover within yourself. You've got some sort of clear goals in mind, like you've got that you know where the ship ends up, you know, but you just don't know quite how to get there yet. So it's asking you to sort of take a closer look at, you know, what steps do I need to take to actually you know that when I start this journey within myself that I'm going to get to the place I want to be. So just as example there, it's like if you have a goal in mind that I want to get really good at, you know, taking care of my own person, like taking personal responsibility for my actions and things like that. Really, you know, that's the end goal. How do I start to take small steps in order to, you know, get to that point where that's second nature to me, where that's, you know, where I know that no matter what happens, I'm taking, you know, personal responsibility. I'm not blaming others for, you know, my stuff and whatnot. So it's really asking you to just sort of think about the journey and how that looks before it gets to the end. I feel like you know what the end goal looks like. It's just a matter of not knowing what it looks like to actually start that journey and you know, get on the water and go out and start moving kind of energy. And then we do see here, we have the crossroads coming through. As you can see here, it's like a staircase where it's up to, you know, two doorways. So it's kind of like, do I choose this doorway or that doorway? There is a choice or decision coming up for you in regard to, you know, starting this journey. And it really is showing us here that, you know, especially with, you know, I've got that magnifying glass as well. And then we've got this Tower card. It really does tell us that there's this element of you really needing to, you know, take some time to think things through very clearly before you're making those decisions. All right. So before you start, you know, before you put your feet on that ship and take off, before you sort of put your feet on this staircase and head towards a specific choice or decision, needing to take some time to yourself, you know, lock yourself away in your tower and really spend some time to yourself, you know, digging deep, looking deep within yourself at what you do truly want and how you're going to get there. All right. Because there is some sort of choice that, you know, I'm just sort of intuitively sort of feeling that if you make a certain choice, there's not going to be any go backs kind of vibe that, you know, that's why you're really needing to sort of think this through clearly and make sure you are planning this out for yourself. Because it feels like if you make the wrong choice, it's actually going to take you, you know, it's kind of that vibe of, you know, instead of sailing a smooth line across the ocean, you're going to have to detour all to every single stop along the coastline before you can get to your destination. So I do feel that, you know, there is clearly a choice coming up where, you know, you're having to choose, you know, between that, whether you're taking that direct shot or whether you're actually going the scenic route and going up along the coastline, you know, to this destination. Like, is the destination what's important to you, or is it the journey that's important to you? Really looking hard and heavy at you know, how to get to that end destination and which path you're going to choose to take to get there. All right. We are also seeing the coffin energy, which this has come out for nearly everyone this week. Okay. It does talk about things in your life needing to end in order to start this new beginning, that you are going to need to break away from something in order to have that brand new beginning. It is the death and rebirth situation. So I'm kind of feeling here that, you know, in order to walk through one of these doors, you need to accept that the potential for the other doorway is going to close as you step through this door. So, for example, if you walk up this staircase and you choose this doorway, you need to walk through that doorway knowing that that doorway here is going to shut as soon as you walk through this one. All right. So it's kind of just what I'm kind of getting, that certain things, certain opportunities will end in order for this new beginning. It's kind of like, instead of splitting your energy across the two doorways, one needs to shut so that 100% of your energy goes into this new doorway and starts this new beginning for you in the ways that you want it to, and to actually lead you to where you want to go. We also do see the bridge energy. All right. So once you walk through that doorway and make that choice, it's a path you're choosing. It's a crossing that bridge kind of energy, that brand new, you're going to be on a totally different side of things. When we see the bridge energy, it's like especially too with that coffin, it's like this bridge between the ending and then the new beginning. It's going to, you possibly will be walking along that bridge for a little while, but it's kind of like every step you take, the bridge falls away behind you, is kind of what I'm getting. That it's you need to make sure you're prepared and ready to go to that other side, because I'm just feeling really strongly here that you are needing to make some very, very firm decisions in the near future, and that there's a lot of planning and forethought that needs to go into these decisions, because it's kind of like, once again, with that doorway closing behind you, that bridge is going to burn behind you. Once you cross that bridge, there's no turning back. You've got it. You're on the other side now. There's a whole new world over there. The grass might be greener, but it might not. But you need to make that choice and cross that bridge, and do so with a very steady step, and that's it. I'm crossing this bridge. I'm not turning around. I'm not going back. All right. It feels like that bridge is going to drop into the ravine behind you. All right. So that is a clear ending. There's no go backs with whatever this upcoming decision is for you, and it's an emotional decision. Okay. And the reason that you need to know about all this, though, there is a reason to the madness. And I feel like, just intuitively, I do feel as though the reason that you're needing to be so clear and concise about this decision, and knowing that you're not going to go back, to the other choice. Once you choose your path and where you're going and how you're going to get there, choosing that path and sticking on it. And, the reason that you're not having any go backs is because, A, that's the path you need to be on, but also B, because it actually is going to serve you better knowing that there's no go backs. In the long run, it's actually best for your highest good to, for just within yourself, I feel that you that you can have this sense of, I can make a strong decision and stick to it. It's that sticking to it kind of energy, that you have no choice in the matter. That seems to be true, but I feel like that's kind of what you need, is to remove that choice from yourself, so that that you're not going to be tempted to go back to something that's not serving your highest good. So like it's like, in the example of, like, if this is a relationship, and you're choosing to end that relationship and start brand new. If you go back to that after you've made that decision, are you going to be happy with yourself, or are you going to have that thing where you kind of feel like, oh, I can't even do what I say I was going to do. I can't even stick to my guns, and then I'm allowing, if I'm going back to a toxic relationship, even though I tried to walk away, am I allowing that behavior to perpetuate? Is that me sort of saying that toxic behavior is okay, because I'm allowing it, because I've gone back to that's kind of the example I'm getting. Just as an example, though, of course, it's going to be a lot different for everyone, I think, but it's all rooted in your emotional self. So it definitely could be a relationship for some of you. But at the end of the day, the reason you need to know this is this fox energy, which is a very self-serving energy. So it's really looking out for your own survival. It's looking out for the survival of your emotions. If you don't make this decision in this way, your emotions are going to suffer, and you're going to find yourself stuck in this cycle of negative emotion, and whereas we're seeing here that with you making this decision clearly, you're going to cross that bridge and move on to a brand new pasture kind of energy, which is what you need for your own survival. This is this is a very clever card. And that fox energy, it can be, a very positive energy. It's very independent and focused on survival, all right? And foxes, they can do anything. Well, not anything, but they will travel for miles and miles and miles to, get food to take home to their den. So they really do, they'll do whatever they have to for survival. Even if it's going and getting into that chicken coop somehow, which, if you've ever had chickens and you've had the problem with a fox getting into the coop, a lot of the time you're like, how on earth did that fox get in there? You have no clue, but they find a way. That fox will always find a way, and that's what you need to be. That's why you need to do this, because it's showing yourself that no matter what you're faced with, that you will find a way to survive this, and you can, and you will. All right. And this is, I feel like the repercussions of this for you within yourself are going to be huge, Taurus. This is actually feeling like a very big, sometimes the things we need the most within ourselves are hard to deal with. All right. We do need to sometimes go through bad stuff in order to learn and grow and change and make sure we're never going to allow that bad stuff back in our lives again. And I feel like this has got that kind of energy. Okay, Taurus. So yeah, I'm not getting any, hugely negative cards or anything like that, but it is telling you to sort of really, really, think things through very, very clearly and be very rigid in your decisions at the moment. All right. Taurus, what's going on for Taurus when it comes to love? What's going on for Taurus with love? Okay, so I'm getting some different energies here. So I'm getting energies here of like some of you entering into brand new, whereas others, there is definitely energy here of people that are already committed. I'm getting two different. Okay, well, for those of you who are in a connection already, all right, those of you who are already in a connection, I do have the engagement ring. Okay, so that does say engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. So this is a strong connection. This connection that you are already in, it is actually quite a strong connection, and it is headed toward even further union. So regardless of whether you're married already or whatever, this doesn't necessarily mean an actual engagement ring, although I am feeling that for at least one of you it is. So, and I'm kind of just intuitively feeling like, well, within the next few months, there's at least one of you getting a ring. or giving a ring, okay? Someone getting engaged in the next few months, okay? So I am feeling that's at least one of you out there. But if you are already in a connection, it is quite a strong connection, okay? For those of you who aren't in a current connection, or you're in a brand sort of new connection, I do have the talking card first and foremost. Interested, conversing more, awaited messages arrive, texting, calling, emailing. All right, so communication, that could definitely be for those of you already in a connection as well. Just a lot of communication between the two of you at the moment, and this one also could be for those of you already in a connection as well, because we do have the date card. Meeting someone, well, it does say new, meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, or planning or setting a date. So especially too with that engagement and planning or setting a date. So there's definitely someone out there planning a wedding date. But for others of you, having a lot of interaction and communication, maybe actually having some nice dates with your current partner, getting back out there. If you're single at the moment, getting back out there and starting to talk to people. But we do have also the Cupid's arrow. Now this has come out for quite a few signs this week as well. So have faith, love is coming. Surprise invitations or meetings, and some hesitation there as well. But, have faith. Love is coming. All right. I know Leo definitely got that one, but I do feel like Sagittarius got that as well. So the fire signs, and I think there was another, I think one of the air signs got that as well. Okay. Taurus and the person they are not currently in contact with. So it could be romantic, platonic, family or friend, whoever you're not in contact with, Taurus. Taurus and the person they are not currently in contact with, please. Big happy changes. Okay. So that person you're not currently in contact with, there may be some big, I feel like this is actually talking about, the energy of between you and that person, that there are some sort of big happy changes happening in the energy, because then we have wait within the next few weeks. So within the next few weeks, I feel as though that energy will be totally different between you and this person. So that's when we do see, the potential for contact to come back in and whatnot. So it is sort of feeling as though those big happy changes are, to the energy of this person and yourself. But, wait, because within the next few weeks, that energy is going to have changed. And, we will actually I do feel for a lot of you, there will be contact, after that has changed. It's just a matter of waiting for that contact. I feel like for a lot of you, it's just like, just wait. That contact will be coming. It just, needs that energy to change and shift a little bit first. All right. But that's what we have for you today, Taurus. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But hopefully we will see you all again soon.